Welcome back to Animated Times. Joe Todd here. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the most beloved webhead-based films that Sony has ever produced. The surprise hit generated a lot of buzz for a sequel and even earned itself an Oscar for the incredible animation and inspiring story. With the news that the sequel is in development, we can't help but think of the many possible versions of Spider-Man that could enter this universe. We've already seen a huge range from Spider-Ham to Spider-Man Noir, and in 2099, the team behind the sequel has revealed that there will be even more Spider-Man in the future. Aside from the trio of live-action actors, here's 7 versions of Spider-Man we want in the next animated film. Number 7. Scarlet Spider. Ben O'Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, has become such a popular character that he has had his own spin-off series. The clone of Peter Parker was a part of the original and much debated about clone saga. The character has since created his own, more independent life. The Scarlet Spider is very different from Peter Parker despite their genetic link. The character could very much act as a new mentor to Miles, as he can relate to having to create his own legacy in the spider costume. Plus, the suit he wears is pretty spectacular. Number 6. PS4 Spider-Man. The PS4 Spider-Man has been a roaring success for Sony. Much like the animated film, the character portrayed in the game is very similar to what we see in the comics, although he is slightly earlier in his career. The previous film actually teased this version. In the bunker of the dead Peter Parker, you can see the PS4 suit as one of the many options Miles can choose from. That doesn't rule out the fact that another Earth could feature a Peter Parker in that very same suit, a costume designed by Sleek White Spider on the front. Number 5. The Red Team. The Red Team isn't as well known to many Marvel fans, but they are pretty unique and would make for a fun addition to this universe. During the days of the Initiative, a character called MVP was cloned into 3 separate entities. They adopted the Scarlet Spider name and started wearing the Iron Spider suits. The 3 of them became dubbed the Red Team and would work in unison, overwhelming their opponents and carrying out orders. They are heroic in some respects, although the initial MVP was very unstable. Perhaps the 3 characters could be voiced by the 3 live-action Spider-Men. 4. Spider Monkey. Spider Monkey is a creation of an alternate Earth, where the people are actually apes. As you can imagine, the character is a monkey with the powers of Spider-Man, and the correct suit pulled over his ape-like body. Although it could be written as being from the same Earth as Spider-Ham, we'd love for Miles to explore a completely different reality again, giving us some Planet of the Apes vibes. The character is quirky enough for the series and would become a welcome addition. Number 3. Spider UK. Spider UK has one of the best designs on the list. The version of Spider-Man from the United Kingdom wears the Union Jack with pride. He's barely ever brought into these kinds of situations, but he'd be a great background character to have. He was, however, a main part of the Spider-Verse story in the comics, which would make him a great fit for the sequel film. We're surprised that he wasn't used for the original movie, although he was considered at one stage, along with an Australian version. Number 2. Night Monkey. Night Monkey was an invention of the latest MCU Spider-Man movie. As Parker is in Europe on a school trip, he wants everyone to think he's not actually Spider-Man. He therefore uses a stealth suit provided by Nick Fury. When Ned has to cover for him, he decides to pretend that the black-suited superhero is a European ripoff version. His nickname, the imposter, Night Monkey, and somehow the name seemed to have stuck. It would have been brilliant to include the European Night Monkey in this film. Number 1. Superior Spider-Man. The Superior Spider-Man was a really imaginative comic book run that lasted for quite some time, with Peter Parker seemingly dying and the switching of the minds resulting in Doc Ock becoming a reformed man. He took on the role of Superior Spider-Man. The combination of Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus suits was already genius, but by having this criminal repent in some way, he became one of the most interesting versions of Spider-Man. Maybe Olivia Octavius could take on the role in the future. Now smash that like button if you like what you saw, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more awesome content by Animated Times.